Nah, I ain't say that. Because you know that's not going to happen.
No, maybe it can.
Everybody can when you
under the bridge. But what you feel about this matchup? Unbiasedly, what you feel about this matchup? You know these dudes very, very well.
Shakur had talked about this before it was actually official. I'm like, cool. You know this fight, right? Cool, like, nah, bro. I know, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like, we all excited about the fight, bro. Like, we all know what's at stake. Like, we've been knowing Teofimo since we was 12 or 13 years old in amateurs, bro. Like, we all been winning nationals together. Now we're pro having to fight each other. So Teo know who he fighting.
Yeah, man.
Things got spicy when Keyshawn Davis exchanged heated words with Teofimo Lopez, and there was nothing playful about it.
It's all love, right, Keyshawn? It's all love. It's all love, right? It's all love, right, Keyshawn? It's all leave, right? All right, that's it.
It's just a young kid trying to get clout. You know, hasn't made anything, hasn't made no noise, could say what he wants to say. However, hasn't done the recognition, hasn't won a world title. So who is Keyshawn Davis? These guys want clout. Do you guys not understand this? The moment they all get into the moment, right? The momentum. They feel the IQ. They feel the punches. They say, oh, this is real life. I don't want to get knocked out in front of the world.
This is where it really gets fascinating for fans. Rob frames this matchup as efficiency versus ignition. Teofimo is all fire, quick sparks, sudden bursts, moments that can swing around in an instant. Shakur, on the other hand, is steady electricity, controlled, consistent, and always present. I love how Rob emphasizes that Shakur isn't flashy with his combinations. His surgical 1-2, step out, reset, repeat. That approach shines over 12 rounds, especially when the body isn't drained. Meanwhile, Teofimo has the power to make the fight either chaotic or electrifying, depending on his choices. He can force disorder or unintentionally hand Shakur a clinic by rushing at the wrong moments. That's the tension of this matchup. One fighter thrives in calm, calculated exchanges, while the other excels in chaos. Rob's insight quietly reinforces what Bradley hinted at earlier. If the fight becomes a battle of conditioning and late-round decision-making, that extra freshness and efficiency may outweigh raw explosiveness. At that point, it's not just about punches anymore. It's about managing the body and energy through the camp. Viewed this way, the fight shifts from a test of athleticism to a contest of who executes more efficiently when it truly matters.
Keyshawn didn't sugarcoat a thing, straight up warning Teo that Shakur Stevenson isn't just going to outbox him. He believes Shakur is going to knock him out if Teo...
When you put all of this together, the picture becomes crystal clear. This fight isn't just loud versus louder, or power versus hype. It's *** control versus combustion ***. Shakur Stevenson operates like a precise processor, analyzing every move, stealing rounds, and letting frustration do the work for him. Teofimo Lopez, by contrast, brings volatility, explosive athleticism, and the ability to change the course of a fight in a single moment if the wrong opening is given. Everything. The press conference drama, the psychological games, the weight talk, the grueling camps, boils down to one central question. ***, who stays disciplined when the plan begins to crack? ***, if the fight turns emotional, reckless, or rushed, the advantage swings to Teofimo. If it stays measured, efficient, and calculated, Shakur makes it his kind of night. That's why everyone, from fighters to coaches, keeps circling the same theme: patience versus pressure, efficiency versus ignition. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, just ***, who executes better when it truly matters ***.
It's starting off slow.
Okay.
And then I see as Shakur wins the first round, as Shakur wins the second round, slowly, I think Teo is going to eventually start picking it up and start imposing his will.
Right.
And then, you know, it's just going to go from there. That's how I think it's going to go.
That's a fair assessment.
That's a fair one.
Especially for that to be his brother.
I think it's going to be close. I think it's closer than people think.
You could feel the confidence behind it too, not fan talk, fighter talk, the kind that comes from being in those gyms and knowing what levels really look like. Moments like that just add more fuel to a fight that's already boiling over.
a lot. I think he's a guy who went out there and he done the things that everybody asked him to do. He beat the Lomachenko, he beat the Josh Taylor, and he ain't really get the credit for it. So when you don't get the credit for it, it feel like your mental kind of go down with some guys. And I think with him, he kind of didn't go about it the right way. He ain't go about it in a way to where it's like, keep waiting your moment, keep pushing, your time is going to come. He felt like his time came and nobody respected it. So I did see the drift in his mental, but I think that's a weakness in his game, to be honest. Come fight night, we coming in there to make sure we come out victorious. So T.O. is a hell of a fighter. I understand that, but I don't think none of these dudes is on my level when I'm at my best. So he got a lot to deal with come J.
Now it's your turn. How do you think this fight unfolds once the lights are on and the rounds start ticking by? Will Teofimo ignite chaos? Or will Shakur quietly seize control and keep it locked down? Share your take in the comments. We want to hear all sides of this debate. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. We'll see you in the next one.
You could feel the confidence behind it too, not fan talk, fighter talk, the kind that comes from being in those gyms and knowing what levels really look like. Moments like that just add more fuel to a fight that's already boiling over.
Rose quickly when Keyshawn Davis traded sharp words with Teofimo Lopez, and the exchange was anything but lighthearted.
I think he's a guy who went out there and he done the things that everybody asked him to do. He beat the Lomachenko, he beat the Josh Taylor, and he ain't really get the credit for it. So when you don't get the credit for it, it feel like your mental kind of go down with some guys. And I think with him, he kind of didn't go about it the right way. He ain't go about it in a way to where it's like, keep waiting your moment, keep pushing, your time is going to come. He felt like his time came and nobody respected it. So I did see the drift in his mental, but I think that's a weakness in his game, to be honest. Come fight night, we coming in there to make sure we come out victorious. So T.O. is a hell of a fighter. I understand that, but I don't think none of these dudes is on my level when I'm at my best. So he got a lot to deal with come J.
Kept it direct and didn't soften his message at all. He issued a clear warning to Teofimo, saying Shakur Stevenson isn't simply going to outscore him. He believes Shakur will stop him if Teofimo starts taking unnecessary risks. In his view, the fight would begin at a measured pace before things escalate.
What I think is that T.O. just painted the outline by being as disrespectful as he can at the press conference because he wants to try to piss this kid off so the kid come fight with him. You understand me? Because with me, he have exactly what he wanted. Because as soon as I go in there, I'm coming straight to his head. You understand where I come from? So, but I think that's what he's trying to get. Yeah, you feel me? But I think that's what he's trying to get Shakur to do. Because why would you say that to a person? What does that have to do with boxing? You feel me? He knows that Shakur has great feet and he's not going to be able to catch Shakur if he lets Shakur take his time to do what he does. So he got to try to make Shakur come in and try to kill him, which is what he just did.
The certainty behind his words was obvious. It wasn't coming from a spectator's perspective, but from someone who's lived the grind inside elite gyms and understands the real gaps between levels. Exchanges like that only pour more fuel on a matchup that's already charged with...
I don't feel bad about what he did because I understand it now. When I saw it, he knows that he is right now. He ain't got much chance than outside picking a shot with Shakur because you don't beat Shakur like that. But if he can make Shakur get reckless and talk reckless to him, he's talking reckless to him to force him to hopefully force him to be reckless. You understand me? So what I would have did, like I said, I would have been reckless at the press conference, so I ain't got to be reckless in the ring. You understand me? I really ain't got that recklessness out the way. You feel me? Just so you know, I know where to be reckless at. Wherever you be reckless at is where I'm going to be reckless at. You understand me? So, and we got that out the way. So when the fight comes, I can get back to my fight game. You understand me? But he's just trying to do things to draw Shakur to him, to make Shakur be reckless, because if Shakur fights reckless, that gives him his best chance to win. And that's smart on T.O.'s.
Tune out the chaos of the press conference. The mental side of the exchange becomes far more compelling than the shouting itself. Those comments weren't random shots or empty trash talk. They were calculated tests. Teofimo Lopez wasn't focused on scoring points in the moment. He was aiming to get inside Shakur Stevenson's head. That's the real strategy at work.
At certain points in the fight.
Honestly, it's a game of patience. I think that you just got to have patience, and sometimes things don't open up in the first 3 rounds or the first 4 rounds. but them things may open up in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th round. So I think majority of the game is come down to just having patience and being mentally strong enough to withstand the patience game, because good boxers is going to be both patient, and the one that's the most patient is the ones who's going to be the most successful when you having a chess.
Guys timing down, know what's coming next, man. He steps ahead of his competition, man. You know, whereas I see Shakur, man, on the other hand, he is the rhythm. You know, and what I mean by that is like he like the wave. You know what I'm saying? He'll come forward and he'll push back. He'll come forward and he'll push back. He is the rhythm, you know. And I feel like, you know, him not being the most athletic fighter, his equalizer is control the distance. That's his
Shakur is most lethal when he stays composed, emotionally distant, and fully locked into processing what's happening in front of him. He doesn't react off feeling. He reacts off information. He tracks subtle details like posture, foot placement, breathing rhythms, and uses them to shape the fight in real time, constantly recalibrating without needing emotion or momentum to guide him. Teofimo, on the other hand, thrives on explosion and creativity. His best moments tend to come in flashes, often built around a clear framework. When exchanges turn messy, he usually searches for structure to regain control. That's exactly why the disrespect carried weight. It wasn't random. It was intentional.
Theo, more so, I would say he's fast, you know, explosive, and got that punching power, you know, to hurt you, you know, he can sting you. Whereas Shakur is more so like, I would say quick thinker. Very decisive fighter, you know what I mean? With his movements, decisive with, you know, all his movements, everything he does inside the ring, there's always like a purpose to it. You know, he's always in the right position, you know, to avoid a shot or to land
It wasn't about ego or personal pride. The goal was to pull Shakur out of his composed, methodical state and push him into reacting instead of calculating. That's high-level psychological warfare, no doubt. But here's the reality. Shakur doesn't need to win verbal battles on a stage. His only job is to remain who he is inside the ring. If he allows emotions to take over, Teofimo's speed and power instantly become dangerous factors. If he maintains patience and clarity, the provocation loses its effect, and the disorder Teofimo often feeds off can start to work against him instead. This matchup isn't defined by bravado or toughness. It's a test of mental control when the pressure peaks. One fighter is trying to drag the fight into emotion, while the other is determined to keep everything rooted in calculation.
Again, he ain't got the athleticism. He ain't got that explosiveness like Teofimo Lopez got, man. He ain't got that, you know. But what the thing is that Shakur, he knows how to follow a plan, man. He does. And I think that's a major difference too in the fight. And he comes in there and he takes away, man, and he takes away whatever you got going on or whatever you think.
When the fight loses its structure and the action becomes unpredictable, the fighter who can adapt calmly usually dictates the pace of the night. Just as the Stevenson-Lopez debate seemed to reach its peak, Timothy Bradley Jr. steps in and reframes it into high-level boxing strategy. This is where it really gets fascinating. Tim isn't talking hype. He's analyzing from experience. Someone who can't stand wasted movement in the ring. According to him, Shakur Stevenson doesn't just move with rhythm. He embodies it, like a force of gravity controlling the ring. You make a move, he adjusts instantly. You hesitate, he takes the space without missing a beat.
And he definitely has the athleticism edge over Shakur. Now, I think Shakur's defense is high caliber, and his IQ is also high caliber. So it's a really good matchup because it's kind of like Teo brings, he can either, depending how he fights Shakur, he can either make it a tough night or he can make it an easy night.
The fight loses its structure and the action becomes unpredictable. The fighter who can adapt calmly usually dictates the pace of the night. Just as the Stevenson-Lopez debate seemed to reach its peak, Timothy Bradley Jr. steps in and reframes it into high-level boxing strategy. This is where it really gets fascinating. Tim isn't talking hype. He's analyzing from experience, someone who can't stand wasted movement in the ring. According to him, Shakur Stevenson doesn't just move with rhythm. He embodies it, like a force of gravity controlling the ring. You make a move, he adjusts instantly. You hesitate, he takes the space without missing a beat.
Same thing goes for Shakur. Shakur can try to stay on the ropes the whole time, or he can utilize his legs and box circles around Tio. We don't know. But definitely with the athleticism edge, I'm going to give it slightly over to Tio. But, you know, not saying that Tio doesn't have a good IQ. I just think Shakur's IQ is very, like, I know people know that he's a smart fighter.
Shakur doesn't fight for applause. He doesn't lose focus, and he never lets distractions interfere. He remains locked in, like a student who already knows every answer before the exam begins. When Tim says Shakur sucks the air out of the fight, it's not criticism, it's a caution. As frustration sets in, even the most talented fighters start overcompensating. Mistakes creep in, and rounds can vanish before you realize it. Bradley's analysis isn't flashy. It's precise and methodical, which makes it so compelling. In short, he's saying that if the matchup becomes a chess match rather than a sprint, Shakur is in his element. Once you see it that way, it's hard to see.
I think that when we talk about fighters throughout these eras, he's not really mentioned in these things because of the opposition who he has faced. But he does have some great IQ, and from a coach's standpoint, I get to see how he does certain things, why he does certain things. And I'm like, that's smart, you know, and he capitalizes. He got good range control. So it's going to be...
Right after Timothy Bradley Jr. broke the fight down like a man carefully scanning for danger, the conversation naturally stepped up when Coach Rob joined in. Now, it wasn't about opinions. It was about bodies, mechanics, and engines. Listening to him, it's clear where fans often oversimplify things. A 5-pound difference. Many shrug it off, but anyone who's ever cut weight knows that's the line between barely surviving a fight and feeling crisp and alive in the ring. From Rob's perspective, Shakur Stevenson moving up in weight isn't about chasing more power. It's about unleashing the body. Less drain, more spring in the legs, sharper movement late in fights. That's frightening because Shakur already dominates with timing and IQ. Give him extra strength without losing discipline, and suddenly those clean shots land heavier. Even if they don't make the highlight reels, what stands out is how Rob never underestimates Teofimo Lopez. He acknowledges that TEO is still a freak athlete, explosive, unpredictable, and dangerous from unusual angles. But then he hits the core truth. Athleticism only counts if it connects. Against a fighter who masters distance like Shakur, wasted bursts of energy quickly turn into a cardio disadvantage, and that's when control becomes the ultimate weapon.